And welcome back to Who Win. Today's Who Win comes to us from Mike Email, or it's Nike Email. I think it's Mike. Mike Email, who asked the question, who will win a fight? The Incredible Hulk smash versus Bugs Bunny. Now, look, I take any and all requests, and this seems like a funny one. So look, the Incredible Hulk. It's the Incredible Hulk. I mean, Bruce Banner, guys, was gamma radiation. He has multiple personalities, multiple versions of the Hulk. But the Hulk is Rage incarnate. And actually surprisingly intelligent, depending on which version you go with. The Hulk is a mass of sheer power, capable of actually breaking universes. Sheer strength. The angrier he gets, the stronger he gets, and only gods are really strong enough to take him on. His regenerative capability is so great that he can pretty much survive anything short of complete annihilation. Apparently, and I learned this because of Immortal Hulk. Thanks to this was one of the things that Death Battle get. Like when Death Battle gets something right, I like to acknowledge it. Apparently, Gamma is directly tied to energy from hell, and whenever he died, his soul went to hell, and he basically allowed him to come back. Not immune, but allowed him to recover from what killed him prior. But because his regenerative capabilities come from his, I believe it's hypothalamus. It allows him to, if you destroy that, damage that, he will take longer to come back, if at all. It's how Banner was taken out with Hawkeye's arrow. Hulk can create thunderclaps. Hulk can literally shatter mountains with ease, jump high, survive in any atmosphere, vacuum of space, you name it. Hulk is strongest there is. Again, short of actual gods, but in his Marvel universe. Bugs Bunny. It's Bugs Bunny. What are you going to do? The thing about Bugs Bunny is there's no real set list of abilities for Bugs Bunny because Bugs Bunny is a Looney Tune. And because of that, he's like many other cartoons characters. Daffy Duck, Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, Goofy, Porky Pig, the Mask, think words here. Many other characters that do the random Sonic the Hedgehog from the old Sonic the Hedgehog cartoons. They have Toon Force. Toon Force essentially means you can do anything so long as it's deemed funny. Now, whether it's deemed funny by you or what else, the viewer, that's the real question, isn't it? What's the limit to Toon Force? That's why you see Bugs Bunny and other characters just suddenly do that random costume change and disguise themselves as a character, despite the fact they had no wardrobe or anything else there. They just pulled something off screen and there it is. Why they can survive so much damage and why Daffy can just take dozens upon dozens of gunshots to the body and face and just walk it off, just go, or his beak just comes off and he's fine. While Yosemite Sam can just survive falling off a cliff multiple times and just walk it up, being crushed and just walk it off. It's Toon Force. They're cartoons. So the question, but a gag character counts as Toon Force, for example. A parody character could, in theory, count towards Toon Force, though a gag character is closer to that. There's a difference between a parody and a gag character, by the way, or a spoof character. There is a difference between those characters. And the question then becomes, how do you beat someone like that? Well, there is limits to how strong a character with Toon Force or a gag character or a spoof character is. A perfect example that I like to use in these scenarios is Aurelia from Dragon Ball Super, who is a gag character who could go toe-to-toe with Super Saiyan Blue Goku, who's a god, basically, who's got the power of a god, universal level of power, but because she's a gag character, she can just do whatever she wants. But when she went up against Beerus is like, nope. And then Goku's like, that gag character's not going to work on Beerus. He's way too powerful for that. So you can reach a level of power where Toon Force doesn't work. And I think we do with Bugs Bunny. Bugs Bunny does have limitations. Because if he could just solve his way out of any problem, he wouldn't be scared half the time when he's like dealing with a monster or when he's got a gun pointed at him. Because if he could just survive a gunshot, no problem, he would just take the gunshot and just walk it off. But no, the reason he avoids and dodges a bullet, like from Elmer Fudd or Yosemite Sam, is because he can be killed. He can only do something when it's deemed funny. If someone just comes behind and shoots him, he would die. Hence, and like, what was it? Oh, God. The Elmer Fudd Bugs Bunny cartoon, where basically it's a parody on opera, and he's basically like the Norse god of like thunder or war or something like that. Uh, so, and you know, he ends up taking down Bugs. And he's like, what if I killed the rabbits? Well, what did you expect from an opera? Happy ending? Uh, um, so in that sense, Bugs had died at that point. It was a fake death because like, no, we're doing an opera. That's what it was about. But yeah, and like the Abominable Snowman, Bugs didn't really do anything Toon Force to trick the Abominable Snowman. He just outwitted him and put Daffy as the poor schmuck who got who was the one that the most Abominable Snowman. Oh, George, where you go, George? Gosh, it's hot. And I will love him and squeeze him. Hey, he really was a snowman. Like, exactly. Bugs' real strength isn't even in his ability to use Toon Force, which he clearly has. By the way, I love the picture I used for him in the thumbnail. I like that picture too. Yes, I'm King Bugs. Yeah. But it's more that Bugs is actually very quick-witted, very quick to adjust to his surroundings, and try to save his own skin. So the question becomes then, in a fight between Bugs and the Hulk, is the Hulk one of those guys whose power is strong enough that the Toon Force aspect of Bugs wouldn't work and Bugs would actually have to try to outwit him, assuming that the Hulk is in a state where he could be outwitted and not just pure blind rage that Bugs can't cope with. I will say this. Any character that could destroy a universe multiple times over, because we know Beerus can do that. And I'm using the Beerus Aurelia example because it's actually a really good example to use. We know that Beerus, at his full power, can easily destroy a universe. Easily. Now, he's not the Omni King who could literally destroy a multiverse without hesitation, which puts him probably actually at outerversal levels. I believe that's the echelon it goes. It goes universal, multiversal, then outerversal. I know interversal is actually is like smaller than universal, but that's a weird concept. Exaversal, I think, is like even beyond outerversal, but I don't even know what that's supposed to represent. You know what outerversal is? I think, or extraversal is. I think extraversal is like fourth wall awareness and capable of just completely shattering every known level of the fictional world. Because outerversal would be something like Trueform Darkseid, who exists even outside the multiverse. But then an exaversal being would be someone who actually exists beyond him, who's aware of like the whole fictional concept of the reality and all that, and just could annihilate it at an instant, in theory. Like Cosmic Armor Superman or Thought Robot Superman would be I think, exaversal character in that way. In terms of level of power, someone who's fourth wall aware isn't inherently exaversal. They're just aware of the fourth wall. Therefore, in theory, they are, in terms of their awareness and mental state, exaversal. And I think I might be using the wrong term. And whatever's beyond outerversal is what I'm referring to. But anyway, the reason, again, the Beerus is a perfect example because he can destroy a universe several times over. Hulk can also do this. Hulk is capable of doing this. Now, granted, comparing universes is difficult, because universes in different fiction are different sizes. We don't know how big the Marvel universe is compared to our own universe or even the Dragon Ball universe, which we know is roughly 9 times larger than our universe. But we know the Hulk is a universal level threat at his max power. So I would probably argue anyone who could destroy universes multiple times over is probably immune on some level to Toon Force. Goku was at least able to match Aurelia. And Goku only grew stronger from there. So it's possible at this point Goku has grown grown to the point where Toon Force is something he can overcome. It is possible. The question just then becomes, is the Hulk on the same level? Because, again, just use Death Battle real quick. The way they calculated Hulk versus Broly, I found that to make sense once they did the numbers. And plus I was rooting for Broly. So I'm like, yeah, I agree with this. But no, the way they explained it, because of the Super Saiyan multiplier, made a lot of sense. So Hulk probably isn't someone who's immune to Toon Force based on kind of that calculation. But that doesn't mean Bugs has an effective way to actually beat him. Unless it's like a Mongo Blazing Saddle scenario where he gives him a candygram and it just blows up in his face and somehow knocks him out. It'd have to be a hell of a candygram. Exploding candygram, but it has to be a hell of an exploding candygram. Unless it's a scenario like that, Bugs' best method of beating the Hulk would be to trick him. You create a different audience. Say, "Hello there, sir. Would you like this?" Like, oh, and all it's just like it gets confusing. Oh, look at you, sir. You're big, lean, mean, green. But are you an 11 machine that the girls want? Maybe come over here and find out. Step on up. Don't be shy. Take your test. He starts doing like all the characters, and Hulk, I think, could legitimately be confused by that. It's like, this guy's not trying to bite me, and he's not trying to, he doesn't think I'm evil or anything. But what's this guy's deal? First of all, we have to ask, Hulk would be the aggressor. Let's be honest. Hulk maybe is going on a rampage and he comes across Bugs Bunny and he sees Bugs and he just target locks his rage on the Bugs. Bugs, now, we know Bugs is actually capable of some pretty fast travel. Because he can literally cross oceans just by digging. And survive that. So it's very interesting how fast he might be able to get away from Hulk. He probably wouldn't be able to race Hulk, but he could dig underground. Hulk would just start blasting apart the earth and was like, yeah. Now remember, Toon Force, at least in Bugs' case, only works as long as he's aware of his surroundings. And only in certain circumstances. Like, he might be aware of like the bullets coming at him, but he might still try to avoid those bullets. Certainly, like, it's gonna kill me. It's gonna kill me. My big question is, does Bug have any way of, and let's use beating here with the quotation marks, beating the Hulk? Bugs ultimately has no way to defeat the Hulk in actual combat. His only way is to basically say, can I redirect this guy in a different direction so he doesn't kill me? Fortunately, Bugs is smart enough and quick-witted enough that I think he could redirect the Hulk towards a different target. Be it another Marvel character, maybe Daffy gets a severe beating. But I do think he could ultimately redirect the Hulk. Now, the Hulk could probably clap his universe. Like, the Hulk could probably break his reality. And I would say this, any character who's capable of reality breaking by sheer power alone is someone who might be immune to Toon Force. But again, it's arguable whether or not he is immune to Toon Force, I'd say. I would like to hear the debate in the comments below whether or not Hulk might be someone who's immune to Toon Force. Because I don't think there's a Toon Force-esque character in the Marvel Universe. You got a Howard the Duck, but he's not Toon Force. The Mask is Dark Horse, if I'm not mistaken, so you can't count that either. Deadpool does have like the magic satchel and stuff like that, but he's really not Toon Force. He's just fourth wall aware and wacky, but he's not Toon Force by any sorts of. He's both killed the Hulk and completely gotten curb stomped by the Hulk. He's been killed by the Hulk, and Deadpool kills the multiverse, obviously. But in terms of the actual like canon Marvel, Deadpool cannot beat the Hulk. He cannot. He can maybe distract the Hulk, keep up with the Hulk because of his healing factor to some degree, but ultimately, no. The Hulk just is too much for someone like the Deadpool. But yeah, because of Bugs' wit and what Toon Force he might be able to use, and his quick thinking, and I guess he's not unintelligent. He could probably redirect the Hulk. Now, granted, it all depends on which version of the Hulk, mentally speaking, you're talking about. If you're talking about Savage Hulk, assuming he can calm him down quick enough to like kind of redirect him, sure. If you're talking about like Miss Joe Fixit or Doc Samson, I think, or Professor Hulk anyway. Not Doc Samson, but because Doc Samson I think is actually a different character. Or Professor Hulk, something like that. Well, if it's Professor Hulk, but I mean, Bugs, actually, I don't think is going to stand a chance because Professor Hulk is a legitimate genius and still has the power of the Hulk. But yeah, and there's Claw, Sad Hulk, the Hulk, if you will. I actually felt, even though I liked how Booster's like, yeah, it's kind of dumb. I'm like, really? Because Claw's kind of like, Claw's badass looking. But yeah, weirdly enough, the way this fight would break down, if the Hulk gets his hands on Bugs, Bugs is screwed. Bugs is dead. But that's assuming that he gets his hands on Bugs and goes through with it. Honestly, I will lean towards Bugs Bunny in this, just because he's the kind of guy who could confuse the Hulk and calm him down enough to redirect the Hulk. That's the only way he beats the Hulk, is by redirecting the Hulk. The Hulk's power otherwise is too great for Bugs to do anything against. So I will tentatively say Bugs, but if someone wants to argue the Hulk, I'm not going to argue against that at all. If you think the Hulk would win, I'm not arguing it. I can completely see the rationale behind it. I personally will lean towards Bugs. And it's a soft lean. It's not like a major Bugs Bunny's 100% the winner. No. This could easily go one way or the other, frankly. So, yeah, I'm going Bugs. But ultimately, what's your thoughts? Bugs, Hulk, the strongest there is, funniest there is. Because let's be honest, I mean, we all love Daffy, but Bugs is iconic. Daffy is too, but Bugs is the number one guy. Put in the comments below, let me know. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. If you have an idea for who would win Star Wars Superhero Magic, what if anything, do on the channel, put that in the comments below. Let me know. Hit that bell if you want notifications. I'll be back tomorrow with WandaVision review and what if. So thanks for watching. Later.